Right, so found out why this is happening now in Almondbury, right? Well, some more information. So, there, on this photo, we've got a nice water trough there with water in a stone water trough. That's a beautiful feature. This house here is a really nice house to walk past and look at. And I was only commenting the other day that this is a nice kind of old little quaint street. Very original to what it was. And then the pavement, I like that pavement just the way it was. Now they've brought all these modern things out and they've got writing on the road that the people in the house have got to look at and other people have got to read writing. And then they've put these traffic lights here as well, right? Now it's mysterious because I was walking down here not long ago when I was dealing with that, after I'd been dealing with that JP Wild issue with because they're transforming the small co-op into the Rose and Crown pub, and the Rose and Crown pub has got a really nice old front on it, which, as well as a TARDIS, it's something that this village has got. There's not that many places in Huddersfield that have got the original buildings. In fact, in the Huddersfield Then and Now group, a lot of people are showing photos of some amazing old buildings in Huddersfield, old pubs, Horseshoe Pub. There were loads of them. It could have been like Stratford, but they all got ripped down, all the old things, right? Now, all the old buildings. Now, Almondbury, therefore, is quite precious and important to save them, and the context of it, without too much modern things, because when you want to go there, it wants to be like Haworth when you go, it feels like you're in a traditional place. Now, I think that the cafe plays a part in it, and I'm going to give you the strategy now, and if you can't understand this, I'm just telling you what I think, right? And if you can't picture it in your head, you need to be able to look at it like a game strategy board when everything's laid out, when you've got all, like when you get these strategists with the armies all laid out, this to that, right? And it's all planned out on a massive scale. Kirklees Council strategic planning, as if he was going to invade a country, and every single different unit and the spread of it is going to move to here, and he's got it all planned out, and he's going to move to there, and this is going to affect that, and that's going to affect that. Deep strategy. It's not just, I'm walking down the pub and I've had a couple of pints and they're going to change that, are they? It needs to be more than that. It needs to be people paid on a council, having important meetings with different contractors and different people. You've got, I'm trying to get, the Labour Party in with that young Labour candidate who didn't actually get in. Then you've got Bernard. Then you've got other parties. They're blaming it on Labour. Every time they blame it on Labour, one Labour, one or two Labour councillors voted for it. You only got through because two Labour councillors voted for it. It's got to be more than that. It can't, everything in Huddersfield can't be getting built on because of two councillors. Because then what's the point in having the other councillors? You can't have all against two and then two are just winning every time. There's something, if there's something wrong with the decision-making process. Because that means that a minority are winning and actually redesigning the whole of Huddersfield. There's more to it than that. And the Green Party pointed out that things aren't being done properly in council meetings, evidence aren't being given, they're not going through procedures properly, right? Now, the focusing, Kirklees Council are doing a lot of things on this Kirklees hub, right? All the focus is on the hub, town centre regeneration, that's what we're spending as money on, town centre development, right? Don't be fooled. Now, I've already pointed out in the petition with the evidence of what has happened to Waterloo and all of that area around the Brig House, the true real Brig House. It was only 50 years ago, it were fields around it and not built on, people were playing on there. Now, it's not even town. I won't mind, but it's not even town. Town's town. If town was slowly expanding, it'd be slowly expanding to Aspley, slowly expanding, to Fartown. Look at Dorchester. What is the strategy of Dorchester? It wasn't to mass expansion to Maiden Castle. They've very strictly kept it away from there. But they've got modern things. They've got theatres. They've got cinemas. They've got McDonald's. They've got the old parts of town, which they kept. Why haven't the builders gone absolutely AWOL and gone up close to Maiden Castle? Because the council didn't want to. They cared about it, and their pride for the place, right? The pride of the area. And Oswestry Street are kind of just managing to hold on with the skin of the teeth. Now in Huddersfield, Waterloo, it's not even town. Town's town. If town's slowly growing, town's slowly growing. Now, since 50 years ago, or whatever it was, when there was that Great Yorkshire show, there were fields. Now, someone wanted to blitz around that brick house. It is a hill fort of our heritage. And they blitzed it. And they didn't even blitz it and put some people on there in houses to make it look nice, right? To say, oh, these factory workers will build them some nice houses on the hill so they've got a nice view. And we'll even put a couple of houses around the edges to look at it so they're looking at a nice hill fort. Right? It's not even in town. Never mind Dorchester not even going close to Maiden Castle and still being town. Never mind town centre refurbishment, town centre regeneration, right? Since the ICI got there, they have blitzed, targeted, just like when, that bomb just missed Dumsteeple at Grangemore when they had an NRAF bomb drop on it, and then Lancaster bomber just happened to, and they just make it back and land on the moors in bits, right? There's actually another long barrow. There's 3 big long barrows because there's another one on the moors, and it's actually like a big torpedo. I don't think that the Lancaster bomber were running out of petrol anyway are going to crash. I think they wanted to smash it there to symbolise smashing up, as if the big hill fort's something to do with a bomber. But anyway, but that's... I want to try and stay on the subject here, but there's a lot of things in that petition for Castle Hill that are important because it's about the whole area and there's entire history. Now, with this, right, Waterloo, it's blitzed. They've done it, and they've packed it in tight. It's an absolute mess, right? Now, currently, Almonbury Village is nice, Certain places like Linley are nice, and Kirkheaton, Kirkburn have got some old things left, not as much. Town Centre used to do. We can't look like Stratford anymore. They ripped it out like pulling your teeth out. You've only got certain teeth, right? And once you rip them out at the root underneath, they're gone, right? Once they drill them and pull your roots out, your teeth out, you ain't got any teeth. Now, you can have false ones and fake ones and new ones, right? The latest new teeth, but it's still not your original ones with original roots. Now, this council, right, they've been desperately trying to get that young Labour councillor into Almonbury to take over from Bernard, right? But this is the thing with Bernard. Bernard has his address at the Conservative Club in Almonbury. He wants to appear like he's a Tory and he likes old buildings and that, right? But Bernard, he lives in Marsh in a terrace house, right? Now, I ain't got anything against Marsh, and I used to live in a semi-detached anyway when I was younger. So, I'm just noting, right? Bernard's lifestyle and where he lives, and he was a school teacher, is what you'd usually think would be Labour, right? Except that his wife does elocution lessons. Now, Bernard was a maths teacher. He's got associations with schools, right? Now, Bernard comes across on the council like, oh, yeah, like I remember a Conservative Club, I'm a Tory, right? But he seems to be with all the other councillors in this mass urban frenzy, unrestrained spread of urban sprawl at Huddersfield, which is a serious problem. That's what's happened at Bradford. That is what's happened at Halifax. And that is what's happened in Leeds. And Huddersfield is now currently doing that. We are in due process. This is what's happening now. It's not, this bit's countryside, that's countryside. What are we doing now? We are not stopping. Now they're trying to all this attention of the hub on the town centre regeneration. What we find out is, right, the plan. Now you need to get this plan. If you need to draw it on paper with big coloured primary school blocks, Lego bricks, so you can you need to have the image in your head, right, as a holographic image, right, with complicated moving parts, like a machine engine, right, of a car, right? Now, not content with the town centre redevelopment, not content with the new sports centre, not content with the new university, not content with redoing the streets in town centre and bringing trains in, right? Not content with that. They're not content with building on the Brigantes' house, the actual brig house they built on it, and packing it in tight. It's not even town. Never mind Dorchester or Oswestry, that's town. The Hill Fort's out of town. Right? The Hill Fort hasn't got any buildings anywhere near it. Right? So I don't know how Huddersfield went town. How was that big house ended up with buildings crawling over it like ants? Packed in. It's not to be proud to look at. It looks a mess. It's absolutely shrapnelled. You might as well have dropped that bomb on Dumsteeple because they'd done more than that. They got the ICI there. Boom. Right? Now, these councillors or someone behind them and all the new councillors they've brought in who are immigration who have come in, who don't really have our history. Fact. They're not from here originally. Fact. I'm only stating a fact. They're not there. When they look at their religion and ancestry, it's not here. It's from somewhere else. So they can't, even though they say, oh yeah, well this is your history and we respect it, they still cannot quite be as bothered about it. It's their own lives, their own pizza shop deliveries, their own cinema trips, their own wanting to get into nicer houses, and their own wanting to have fairness and equality and be treated equal to everyone else. That's always going to be a priority over the heritage of our country and our history, right? And if you say, oh, well, don't put your history before, people, right? What are Dorchester and Oswestry doing? What are they doing at Uffington? What are they doing, at Stonehenge and other places? They're not blitzed them. Have some respect for the place or where you're from and history, other than eating stuff in your face with an ice cream and eating pizzas or staring down at your mobile phone. You know what I mean? Now, what they're actually doing, right, is, right, they're not content with the town centre regeneration, and they're not content with the absolute packed in houses. We've got a 5%, there's 15,000 people. We've got enough people here. What's the 5% in Oswestry? It's 3,500. What's the 5% in Perth City? 2,500, and it's a city. It's Perth. 15,000, and that's only 5%. Now, Labour want more. They don't want to just walk past those nice areas. They don't want to go there and look at it and walk past it on the street. They want to be there. And if they want to be there, they need to build more houses there and more things. And when they're finished, it is not going to be that beautiful village anymore with the countryside, because you can't have your cake and eat it. They're going to pack it in, right? Now, there's a few schools around that area, right? And this is what I've just been told now. So they want to get the cafe up on the hill, right? And they're wanting to have, people go to it, probably likely school kids from Almondbury and the parents and that. They're wanting people to go up there and eat when there's already restaurants all over Huddersfield. Golka, Almondbury, Newsham. There's nowhere without restaurants. You don't need another cafe, right? And the co-op This is all Kirkley. Nothing happens without it going through Kirkley's planning, right? Now, Kirkley's planning have had meetings with the Co-op and JP Wild, right? They had a shop in Armonbury, a Co-op building, right? They could have made it bigger, but they wanted the Rose and Crown pub, which is an old building. Now, that is important because it's next to the TARDIS. And that, we're lucky we've still got that TARDIS there. And even those terrace cottages in Armonbury are very, very beautiful and could be even more beautiful. There's nothing bad about them. They only need tidying up a little bit and a little bit of gardening. They're absolutely beautiful. Now, JP Wild did not put a planning notice on to say that they were doing anything to that Rose and Crown pub because they were walking past there every day, right? And neither did that Indian restaurant because they wanted to change use of part of it, right? Because I was getting on and off the bus there every day and walking past it, going there specifically to look at those, right? Then, right, suddenly JP Wild puts all signs up everywhere. Oh, what's happening? Oh, it's going to become the new Co-op, right? So, still no planning notice. I go into JP Wild and I have words with him and say, look, don't mess up the front of that pub because it's really, there's some traditional parts there and it fits with the village, like the railings and everything. So they've actually ended up keeping that or else it'd have gone. So my actual say has had a bit of effect at least. But what I didn't know is, right, that cafe is part of the regeneration plan of town because they want a new square modern cafe to match the new square university and the new square sports centre, right? And all the students have got building. They want in a matching set, right, in with the strategic plan. And now they've allowed the Co-op to change that pub, right? It's going to be a bigger shop. It's going to make more money. And there's going to be more people going up to Armonbury Village, right? Because they'll have a bigger shop, right? So that's going to create more traffic, right? And also, now it turns out they're moving some of the kids to this King James school and making it bigger. So what's the plan behind that, right? We want to bring more people into Armonbury. We want to bring more kids into Armonbury. Now, the people of Armonbury weren't really too keen on this idea of expanding that school and bringing more kids and people in, to be honest, because I've just heard that they all got notices and they weren't happy about it. The people of Armonbury like a quiet village of Armonbury with traditional village. That's how they like it, as it is. Now, Labour, they're blaming Labour, but I wouldn't be fooled by Bernard McGuinn because Bernard's a team cheat. He's pretending to be a Tory and having his address at the Conservative Club, but Bernard is Labour through and through because he's got a Labour lifestyle. And he's a school teacher as well. He's an ex-maths teacher, he's meant to be, right? So he's right in there with the school. He wants that school to be expanded. Now, what's going to happen when they bring loads of people into Armonbury and have that school is going to be a hell of a lot more people in school in Armonbury, right? And then their plan is to have that cafe opened at Castle Hill and have more people in the area, busier. So it's going to turn it into a busier village, right? With a busier shop. So the plan is for Armonbury to be very, very busy. Even though it's beautiful and quiet, they want it to be absolutely jam-packed and busy. Now, to do that, you've got to have more traffic management and they're going to have to put more street furniture on there, bumps, stupid, traffic calming, traffic lights. It reduces the look and appearance of what the village is with all that extra street furniture. Look on the Huddersfield then and now group at the old photos of Huddersfield. Even though they got all these big buildings that were new massive buildings, the streets were clear and immaculate. You didn't need all the street furniture. How could people even manage to walk down the street, without getting run over? I don't know. Why would you need all these electric things and signs? They're just gadgets, the gizmos. Stop, look and listen, be aware. What are they teaching them at that school? This is the problem. Now, the plan is not regeneration of Huddersfield Town Centre. The Labour Party want to take Armonbury. Right? Never mind Bernard McGuinn fighting for Armonbury. they're fighting to take Armonbury off and occupy it, off the villagers who are happy with it as it is. They want to take the fort, the hill fort, and they want to take the town. They're not content with the regeneration of town for themselves. They want the whole thing. They've blitzed the Brighouse. They want absolute full expansion in all directions. They want to be Leeds. If you were a Kirklees council with a passion for redevelopment, they're not satisfied with what they've got. And they're not satisfied with even having Armonbury. They're going to be the ruin of it. Look at Leeds and Bradford. It has been blitzed. Now, these councillors on Labour, they don't know what's good when they look at it. They see it and they go, oh, we want to live up there, we want to live up there. Look, there's something good there, go up and see it. But they want to be up there, we need to be up there, move there, I want to move there. All right, pack it in, fill it up. They've fucked it. Labour want to fuck it. They think that, we'll move the kids over again that right now. Once those kids are all in that school, and all you is in the village, and all going to the shop, and all going up to that Castle Hill Cafe if we don't stop them, right? They'll have got the shoehorn in, and they'll have got another bit of leverage, get the lever in, get the crowbar in, work that crowbar in. Then they'll be having more housing developments. Oh, we've got more school kids here now they need more houses in that area. And those fields all around the edges of Armonbury, I can guarantee you, will be packed in gradually, more and more houses, and there'll be some little protests, and Labour and Kirklees Council will just gradually fill it up. And, what happened in only 50 years to that big house in Waterloo? It's gone. Now, this is what they're doing strategically. Those councillors don't like that village, and they don't want it to be beautiful and peaceful, even to go there. They want to pack it in, and they are growing at unprecedented rate. The people of Armonbury have said that they were happy with it as it was. They don't need to close those other schools down, right? They don't need to. And if I get these 15,000 signatures on that petition, I am going to stop Labour. I'm going to stop them. I'm going to stop Barry Shearman. I'm going to stop Bernard McGuinn. I am going to stop them from ruining this county of Huddersfield because they're vandalising it. They're saying vandalism is graffiti on the walls. Oh, graffiti ice. The Huddersfield Hub, Huddersfield Examiner. Oh, we need to stop the graffiti ice. Moving all the kids to that school is vandalism. Because you are planning you're going to allow more houses to be built all around Armonbury, and it won't be countryside anymore. They're already doing it on the Hill Fort. They're ruining the Hill Fort when it turns out that Huddersfield got 3 giant long barrows and a Hill Fort, the big house. That means on a national scale, it's more significant than Stonehenge. It's actually more significant than the White Huffington Horse. It's more significant than Mailing Castle. 3 giant long barrows that aren't even acknowledged. With the Hill Fort and the river to Hull, when you could have actually sailed to the caves in prehistoric times at Nottingham. All of which I'm covering in the petition updates as I'm discovering things, right? This council, it's not interested in the history, who we are, where we're from, and how we got here. They just want material things. They want the gadget, they want the computer, they want the pizza, they want to go sit in front of the cinema. Who are these people? And then they blame it. Oh, blame it on the Tandys. Blame it on 2 Labour councillors. You cannot tell me that if you've got an entire council and only just 2 people, right? When you vote in Parliament, you're meant to vote on majorities. How can you have a majority when you've only got 2 councillors who are meant to be responsible for it? The 2 councillors are a majority. If 2 councillors are winning all of the others every time, how is it possible? How is it possible that a minority wins every time? It's an excuse. It's an excuse and a complete total front. And I don't think Bernard is Conservative at all. I think Bernard's really Labour. And even if he is a true Tory, what is Boris doing? He's taking away the right to object to housing bills. He wants to take away your rights to protest. And he was going to take, you're not to register any more footpaths through the countryside, things like that. That prevents him, building houses if you want to put footpaths and rights of way through there. They cannot be tamed, these Labour people, but what do they love? What do they all want to get up in the world? We want to get up in the world. We want to get better in life. We want to get bigger. Bigger's not better. In Armonbury, they're not big houses. They're small houses. They're little cottages, but they look nice. They look beautiful. Labour, they don't have any style or taste or respect for things that look nice. They're regenerating the town centre. Why weren't they putting some money into doing up Armonbury and helping people make... There was a couple of houses in Armonbury opposite that police box that are absolutely amazing, and they're only small. They're not big. I don't think Labour knows what is nice and knows what is good, except a pizza and an ice cream. They want the latest thing. You've got something good. Oh, it's going to be good. Labour, it's always going to be good, until, they're going to squeeze it till it's gone from green to blue, and then it'll be good. Labour need to stop. And it's Barry Shearman's fault, that party in our area. They need to be stopped because they're actually ruining the place we've got. There's nothing to be proud of. Nothing. Shearman's got no to be proud of. He's packed it in and bricked it up, that big house. And if he thinks he's in Parliament representing Yorkshire and Yorkshire's history, he has been defeated and ruined and vandalised, and it's a shadow of its former self. And it doesn't matter what industry it's got, it doesn't matter what filling factory with slaves. Does Barry Shearman think that West Yorkshire has won when they become the boot boys of the country? Oh, there's West Yorkshire, the Brigantes, there used to be something. Now they're the boot boys, fill the factories. Shine my shoes, boot boys. Shearman has got nothing to be proud of. And if you think chemicals and industry are the future, they're banning half of these chemicals now. Arsenic wallpaper. Bread that's toxic. We're actually making things that are polluting, pouring stuff into rivers and polluting the planet. And actually, it's actually Ireland have actually got away with it all right. The Irish are the ones who are actually proud of their heritage and who have resisted too much development. It's only Dublin, really, that's developed. And now the Irish are actually realising that we're all going to be in trouble, the whole world, if something is not done about it. These councillors need to be stopped, and these companies... But everyone's addicted to their products and things. And then they're using the adverts as political influencer marketing and kind of having a laugh about it. And the council are joining in and sponsoring and affiliating notices and signs that have a political slogan or message in with the advertising. And that's influencing electors. I'll prove it in a court. I'll go to the High Court and I'll prove Kirklees Council are sponsoring and affiliated with partners who are using slogans and signs all around Huddersfield that have psychological influencer slogans and marketing affiliated with, intended to influence the electors, to want to allow house building, to not oppose house building, and to want to buy and eat more products and pizzas and all the things that aren't good for us. It's influencing electors, right? And Kirklees Council, they've got a strategic planning team. If I had a lawyer, I would take that. If I won the lottery, I don't want a mansion or a fancy car or to go on holiday. If I wanted to go on holiday, go on holiday, don't come back. I don't think people in Huddersfield like Huddersfield. They don't care. Mainly because it's gone and they don't even want to help us to save the bits that are left that are nice. The strategic planning team could be taken to court. We've already got planning breaches by Tandy. People are saying, I have seen planning notices haven't been put out, and it's people who don't want to do it. They don't want people to object. And they either hide them or don't put them out. They're very sly. Now, if you say to me, oh, well, why would they do that? Tandy's done it. Tandy did it. He's the example on the hill. And I think that him not being prosecuted for criminal charges is a big signal to all the builders that, oh, yeah, well, you can get away with it. You just get a fine. Or you can carry on, but you've just got to stop. Oh, we had a go. Tried to get the leverage in, tried to get the crowbar in, give it a bit of leverage. Oh, we'll see if I can get away with this one. Oh, damn, the quarter's out. Referee blew his whistle. Now I'll have to take it down and put the one that we said we were going to plan. How about you broke the rules? Red card. You'll never build anything ever again. You're banned from being a builder and having a builder's business. You tried to sneak building through so we couldn't oppose it. And then the council are even doing council meetings properly and putting evidence properly. So the Green Party is saying, and I believe them. It's cheating. Who wants to be in a world where it's cheating everywhere? Cheating so they can just win and get what they want. That's the Tories. What has Shearman got to be proud of if he is helping cheats? The Tandys. I'm Barry Shearman. I am a big cheat, just like Boris Johnson. He's a liar. He breaks the rules. He's a cheat. And he'll cheat to get what he wants to win. It's not playing fair by the rules, getting fair opposition and fair arguments and fair evidence and getting people to support it. And then they go with their influencer. They use the Examiner, anything they can. And if anyone goes around the houses and hands leaflets out, they go on social media, get councillors on social media, Richard Smith, and they're ganging up and getting everyone on the opposition team. And these councillors don't even get voted in by, not all people, all the electors even bother voting. Only 30% of people in an area like Armonbury to vote for a councillor, Bernard, only 30% to 40% turned up to vote for him. So the other percentage cannot be valid, wanting Armonbury to be like what he wants it to be like. It's cheating. We need some new election rules where the councillors have to do better. They've got to try and persuade 50% of people to vote for him in an electorate or they can't get in and he won't have a councillor. Wouldn't you want a councillor who was at least 50%, half of the people in the area wanted him in and voted him in, right? And that means they'd have to do more work working for Armonbury. That means they really would have to go around the houses handing leaflets out and knocking on the door and asking people what they wanted, rather than pretending to, putting a couple of signs up in the street. Oh, and then, and that's another thing. In Lepton, they've banged houses up all around us, blocked off the countryside, when they cheated and didn't put the planning notices out. So, other horse riding school and other places didn't know about it because there's a horse riding school near here, right? Now, down in the village, where they're all friends and pals with each other, Bernard McGuinn went out of his way, went out and got photographs with them all, helped them all to get only 800 signatures. Wow. And blocked an housing build. Why is it I'm hearing people in Kirkheaton have actually done everything, tried everything to try and stop housing builds, tried absolutely everything? So they must have got more than 800 signatures, yet it said, oh, it's impossible, you can't stop it. When the councillor wants to stop it, it magically gets stopped. And that's another thing, if they'd have built houses over here in Lepton, they could have brought more kids over to Kirkburton School or Kirkheaton School, not to the Armonbury one. So by blocking the housing build down there, right, that's diverting, more necessity for kids to go to Armonbury. So, that figures into it as well. But I strongly believe that allowing the co-op to develop, when they've got relationships with co-ops and planners and people going in for meetings into the council, it's all tied in with the school, with the new co-op, with the cafe on the hill, with the new influx of people into the area. Oh, it's a big school. Now we've filled it with people. Now we've got an excuse. Now we get the crowbar in. Whoa. Now they're putting some housing development, housing development applications in. And now, we'll have to say yes because we've already filled the school up. Now you've got the railway line going, and there's no turning back, and it'll be gone. Just like that big house at Waterloo, bang, blitzed, absolutely packed in. And I don't think that anyone cares because I think that why would they help someone else when if they're in a packed in area, why they're not going to help anyone else who isn't in a packed in area? Why should they? When I went around collecting signatures, when I went around Kirkburn collecting signatures, every single person I spoke to said, they would sign it until Richard Smith got involved and started, influencing them the other way in the petition, which is criminal. I can prosecute for that. And the Examiner. People were agreeing with me, and people were even signing there and then in person, and I was actually getting along with them. And, I think a lot of people, are together until you start getting on internet groups and then things, get misconstrued or whatever. That's the thing. And it's all, these councillors like Richard Smith, it's not my area, that's Bernard's area. It's all strategically planned. This school in this area, this school in that area, another school in another area. Why? But they've got a massive university in the centre of town, right? Why didn't they include school in that part, And how about next to the river? How about where the one-way system is by the university? They've got a little nursery school there. Why don't the council buy up some of those units down there that are empty and massive? They've got car parks. They've got car park upon car park upon car park on there, Sparks car parts. Why don't they bang a school there and get people to go into town? It's all about, we're blocking cars from town so it's safer for pedestrians. Oh, Kirklees Council, there's going to be no cars in this town centre anymore. It's going to be perfectly safe. You can walk where you want. Well, why don't you get some school kids? Why don't you get a school built next to the river? Next to where university one-way system is, all those stupid mills and buildings and stupid car parks, odd spares and ends and empty car parks. Get a school built there. Get people to come into town to school. There's buses coming from all areas. And then they can, have all the new town centre to walk around them through that's got no cars in it at all. And not have to ruin villages, little quaint, quiet villages. And then the leverage. The worst thing is, it's the scheming leverage because you know where it's going to end up going. It is one way. It's more. This village is it's going to end. They've got the lever in now, and they're just going to work it backwards and forwards till it's packed in, and that village will not be like this anymore. It'll be like it is down in Waterloo. It'll get absolutely jam packed, and then all the fields will be gone, and it's ruined because Labour don't know when to stop. If somebody's got something that they want, they can't. It's not good enough for them to just look at it. Or just even go up there and walk through. They want it. They want to go there, get into it, get into the thick of it, pack it in, and they just want to, just ruin it. You can't look at something and go, that's nice, let's keep it as it is. They've got to get in there and ruin it. And that's the problem with Labour. And why now more people are turning to Lib Dems. Because it's actually, even the Tories, even the Tories who had nice stuff, even the Tories are attacking the Tories now. Even Boris is saying to the Tories, right, you had nice houses, but, this is progress and corporate takeover. And, if our big corporate companies want to make more money, then even their own people are going to have to suffer and all their, nice views and gardens are going to have to go. So, this is why the Tory party have got disagreements because of greed, corporate greed. It's all greed. Why aren't these other towns in the south doing that? There's something with Huddersfield, and it's greed. It's this Huddersfield. It's the competitiveness. The thing is, Huddersfield does think, oh yeah, we're Huddersfield, we're good in a way, and it's trying to be good, but it doesn't know how to do it. It's like, oh, the best way to be good is to, have to redo everything and then we'll be better. Well, didn't you ever realise that you were good in the first place 50 years ago until the ICI came in, until it ruined the place? You had something good and then you got tricked and they fleeced it and they rubbished it, and now you're trying to desperately be good, Well, we'll be good if we just regenerate the town centre. No, you fucked it. It's gone. You have fucked it up. And you got fleeced out of it. You got tricked. And now you're going to take everyone else around here with you. Everything else that we've got left now is going to be going. Because it's absolutely and totally ruined. No one's got any pride. The only pride they've got is for the rugby team or the football team. If it's rugby, oh yeah, no, well, yeah, we're in. If it's football or it's kicking a ball around, it's all right. I don't know what it is with Huddersfield. It's. I just, it's the. And also, it's because they've brought more people in. Look at Ravensthorpe and Batley, and you get a lot of people in Huddersfield who are actually, sort of having a go at Batley. They're having a go at Batley and Dewsbury, saying, "Oh yeah, But that's the way we're going now. And it's the same attitude of the council, of Batley and Dewsbury. It really just feels the same. And then that's the way we're going. We need totally new councillors in with totally different vision and different attitude. We need to somehow get some exchange going on. We need to get some councillors from different parts of the country. Because it has been vandalised. It's only in this last couple of generations. So it's Shearman, it's Barry Shearman and the person before him. It's mainly those two people. It is Barry Shearman. It is his fault. He's done it. Barry Shearman has done it. And the guy before him. And everyone's just been cheering,